This is a special interview with an ace radio football commentator, Mr. Emeka Odikpo. In this special interview, the broadcaster by excellence shared with us about his life as a journalist in general and radio football commentary in particular. There is no iota of doubt that Emeka Odikpo is Emeka Odikpo, and a true heir to legend Ernest OKONKWO, Nigeria's household name in radio football commentary. In this interview, Emeka Odikpo gave noble news, insights on radio football commentary and his personal experiences in the broadcast industry, particularly regarding nurturing and mentoring young broadcasters. In fact, Noble News was privileged to hear from him about his work relationship with renowned radio football commentator, late Ernest OKONKWO of blessed memory.
Can you please tell us a little about yourself, the man Emeka Odikpo?
My name is Emeka Odikpo, as you said. I am from Anambra State. I went to the University of Ife for my first degree. I did my master's in University of Lagos and my PhD ongoing at the Anambra State University. I joined Radio Nigeria in 1981 after my youth service. And I naturally was taken in the post department, and from there I grew to become the Emeka Odikpo brand in commentary. And then, of course, I have retired in 2016. I served in various aspects. I was head of sports and fashion system at some point, and then at some point I got elevated to become the director of programs. From there, I moved to Enugu as the Zonal Director of Southeast of Radio Nigeria, and later moved to Lagos as the Zonal Director, we call it Director of Lagos Operations. From there, I retired on July 13, 2016. I am married. I have 3 children. One is already alive, the first one. The second is a medical personnel who has also completed the youth service, and the last is a civil engineer.
How did you find yourself in sport, even though with this chain of degrees I have not heard of your area of specialization? What took you directly to sport?
You know that seriously speaking, nobody goes to university to read sports, except maybe if you want to do physical education and so on and so forth. Except if you have some other courses, certificate, diploma courses in sports. How did I find myself in sports? Well, when I was in school, I attended the government college in Magen. It used to be a very prestigious, highly prestigious secondary school then. And we took sports very, very, very seriously in government college. If you were in government college, there was no way you wouldn't be involved in one sport or the other. You must be involved. So I got myself involved in cricket, in sport, in football, in boxing, in athletics. These were the major areas. Then in football, yes, number one, we say football is the king of all sports. Well, it's debatable. In some other times, it's cricket. In some others, it's rugby and so on and so forth. But in Nigeria, in Africa, generally, it's football. I became interested really in football commentary, trying to because of the work of the likes of Ernest OKONKWO, Sebastian to mention a few, Tolu and so on. So I would anytime we had the house sport, we would go to the stadium, the mini stadium in the school, and I would just put my hand over my mouth and start mimicking them, running commentary, just to the corner where I was. By the time I did it for some months, 1 or 2 years, I had a large followership. My friends, my classmates, and all that became my assistants, and then some of them were highly interested. So one day, the turning point, let me cut the long story short. The turning point was I was doing this normal commentary on my own, at my own dark small corner. Then the school captain came out and had me talking, running commentary, and trying to mimic Ernest OKONKWO and so on. And he said, "Who is that making animal noise?" And I said, "No, sir. I wasn't making any more noise. I was only coming. Oh, you are teaching me. Okay, you pronounce judgment and punishment for me for challenging the school captain. Those days, school captains were very strong. I think after the principal, that's what school captain.
Yeah.
So, what happened? I was not giving some punishment, and I did the punishment. The principal was so angry with me because he knew me as a quiet person, and all that. But he said, how could you have challenged the school captain? I was in class 4 then, anyway. And they said, and I said, I didn't challenge him. This is what I said. And the man said, is that all? I said, yes. He said, no. Let's call the captain. We called the school captain. The captain said I was making an animal, and when he corrected me, I challenged him. I said, no, I wasn't making an animal. The man said, you are junior to the school captain. You cannot be wrong in school. So forget it. I will compensate you. You want to run comments? I said, yes, I will buy you microphones.
Wow.
The speakers. In school, I'm telling you, this was class 4. Really? I story. And then he bought it, and then our commentary improved. We mounted it around the mini stadium. Whenever we are doing sports, we will go there officially now. No more. And yes, we go there now and start running comments. And people in the stadium, the mini stadium, will be listening to us and laughing and then enjoying it. So that was how it started, really. When I left school, in fact, the principal was so upset. He wanted me to go for higher school. In those days, we used to have higher school. But unfortunately, I don't know, I got admission and I left. So in school, in the University of Ife, I continued and I was giving serious recognition in the University of Ife. Even in my youth service, I was trying motion. So I was almost perfect in my imperfection. Call it that way as far as sports commentary was concerned.
Yeah.
So when I now said, what do you want to do? I said, look, I want to go to the media house, not NTA, sorry about that. I will go to Radio Nigeria. I want to run commentary on radio like Ernest OKONKWO, like so on and so forth. So they said, okay. I went to Radio Nigeria and I said, look, my interest is sports. I don't want to be broadcaster just like I want to be sports broadcaster. So they said, okay, how much do you know about sports? Okay, they took me when I never met Ernest. Wow. They took me to panels set up by Ernest and all, and they interviewed me, showed me some pictures and they identified the players. So that was very easy. That time, the English Premiership was not as popular, but I knew virtually every player he knew. Wow. At the time. My interest was so wide. And when I at the time, he said, this is our staff. That was what he told me. In the interview, he said, this is our staff. And I sat down and they were asking me questions. They brought pictures of green eagles and all that, and I identified, I told stories of even individual green eagles player and all that. Wow. They were marveled, and then I said, this is already our staff. So I left, and inside me, I knew I had been taken. So when I finished my youth studies, we passed out on the 11th of July, 1981. And that was on the Saturday. I served in Ogun State. I went back to Lagos. On Monday, the 13th of July, I went to the office. They have the appointment letter. So I picked my appointment letter and I said, what happened? They said, if you register your staff membership will start counting. So I had to fill the resumption form, and they gave me 2 weeks to go and get ready. That was how I joined Radio Nigeria, and I joined straight to sports department.
So what you just narrated, it's like you just followed your heart, something, a passion in you. Do you think you had, apart from interest, any prerequisites in terms of either voice or other qualities that fitted you to radio football commentary?
Well, you cannot really judge yourself except because there's a kind of quality they look for in the voice, especially those who are trained. Don't forget, I was just a raw person. I didn't know there is a training voice and all that. So in fact, I recorded some commentaries I did before joining Radio Nigeria, and interviews I did, and the sports programs I did. And I sent it to them, and some were judged good to be used on air in Radio Nigeria. I am not trying to blow my head. So what happened really was that for so much that I got admission in the University of Benin to the pharmacy. And my brother who was to train me really wanted me to read pharmacy or medicine because he said in our family, yes, we are a family of scholars, so to say. Everybody had been either law or in arts or social science. Nobody had gone to real sciences and applied sciences. So he was happy I got admission. Those days, you take entrance to the university, individual university will do the entrances, and you get admitted where you want. So I took entrance to University of Benin, and they gave me admission for pharmacy. I took in Soka, they gave me admission. Masscom. If I was not doing Masscom, then the closest was English.
Yeah.
So I took entrance for English in University. These were the three universities. And then Soka, I got admission in straight away in Benin. Got admission straight away in Soka was on what do they call it, second batch or whatever they call it. So I needed to wait till November 30 join Soka for Masscom. But he said that it was August. So I said, okay, let me get this first. Not sure that supplementary date also can come out and tell me. So let me start with what I have. So I joined it. Later I took a thing with admission, but it was late. I said, no, let me continue this. I can as well go to Radio Nigeria, go to radio broadcasting with my English degree. So that was what happened. And my brother was not happy that I get to train the pharmacy completely. He wasn't happy about it. But what can I do? I wouldn't have been happy if I read pharmacy. It's a good course. It's better than English. But to me, English was what I wanted to be where I wanted to be.
You mentioned some pioneer names. Can you really recall those who are the first scholars in this radio football broadcasting?
Well, in sports, really, Shola was the pioneer, number one, because he was the one that the English people handed over commentary to. So he brought indigenous Nigerian commentary to radio. What we used to have was the English style commentary, and we were not really doing the commentary here. It wasn't domiciled in Nigeria, it was domiciled in England. They would just pass it down and we joined. But when Shola was trained and brought to took over, we now started covering our own local games.
Let me ask you a question that is really disturbing many of us youngsters. We've heard of that name, Shola and Ernest OKONKWO. Yes, and Ernest OKONKWO. Yes. Now that it is clear that Shola is the first or the most senior then, what really brought Ernest OKONKWO, like Shego Adagwami said, was a little bit more popular than the others?
Well, you see, that's right. People play football, good players, they may not be lucky. Let me give you an example. There are some players, if you look at George Okongwu, for instance, he was a prolific scorer. He was a good striker. But he never went to the World Cup. He never even went to the Cup of Nations. You understand?
Yeah.
We had Dennis of Christian. Somebody takes money of the insurance. They were terrible. They were terrific. Let me not say terrible. But they never got to play the World Cup. We had Emmanuel Okala, for instance, they call him OAU, Africa, the number one in Africa. He never got to play the World Cup. But they never even played professional football. But when Christian came, he took Nigerian football abroad. He went to Ivory Coast, from Ivory Coast to Belgium, with him and Ademola Adesina, Rashidi Yekini, all the now started going out. Those days we used to look at people like John and Austin Fashion playing in England, in Wimbledon then. It was so fascinating. We used to have John Chiedos here, and so on and so forth. They were all Nigerians, but they were more English than real Nigerian setup. So what I'm saying is that circumstances, time and space will define one's destiny. And the will take the credit, you cannot take it away from him as a man who brought indigenous sports football commentary, radio commentary to Nigeria. They handed over to him. It's not debatable. And the rest of the illness could be said to have taken effect from Sholapro's mandate, so to say. But then, now let me say this. The football commentary is a tripod. One leg is, where is the ball? Second leg is, who has the ball? Third leg is, what does that person do with the ball? When you describe these three actions, you have done a perfect, marvelous commentary. So you can get to the stadium and say, okay, let me answer the first one. Where is the ball? The ball is in the center circle. Then you answer the second one. Who holds the ball? The ball is with Austin J.J. Okada. What does Okada do with the ball? He dribbles one person, another one comes with this team and runs into the penalty area. You see, I'm already running commentary. So it's a tripod. Yeah. So if you do commentary based on this tripod, you have succeeded. But then it says that, okay, this tripod, I agree. But the way Okocha will track the ball may not be the way actually Ekene will track the ball. So you need to demonstrate that. So Ernest will now say, where is the ball? Let me answer the question. Where is the ball? Now it is with Rashidi Ekene. He chases down, now he chases down, dances round, and runs like a gazelle. That is Rashidi Ekene. He has expanded it because he said the way Okocha will treat the ball is not the way Rashidi Ekene will treat the ball. So if you now say, where is the ball? And I told you that where is the ball? Who has the ball? What does he do with the ball? So if you now say, where is the ball? The ball is in the center circle with Rashidi Ekene. He heads it down, puts it on his chest, and dribbles even with his chest. He dribbles his man even with his chest. Oh, beautiful. And places it on the rod. Rashidi Ekene to the far side. He runs like a gazelle. The crowd is roaring and cheering. That is you go. So you see the aspects that he has now added. So Ernest brought it, democratized it, if you permit me to use that word. Ernest brought it down, yes. Okay, let's look at the theoretical. Let's also look at the prospect. The crowd, you will look at the crowd, because the crowd effect is also affects the match. It also adds to the impetus of the momentum on the field of play. So you must not forget the crowd, the cheer or the boo. So Ernest now add, the boos are getting so much. He missed the ball. He didn't do it professionally. The crowd is not happy. He brings in the aspect of the crowd. Then when the match is on, what is happening outside, Ernest you have no business with what is on that they list now, because radio is a blind medium. It was Ernest now tried, okay, this is a blind medium. That's why all efforts must be made to describe everything, so that you now see it with your ear, hear it with your ear, see it with your ear, and so on and so forth. So that's just what Ernest did, and a lot of people now understand. And Ernest believes too that if you say the referees also have done an infringement, it's not enough. If it goes for an offside, that you should even tell, so you may not know the offside rule. The man listening and say, why not the referee? So no, the referee is right. The man took a step ahead on the last defender. Therefore, he said it's an offside. So you clear that doubt. You should always be an advocate.
The present political dispensation that polarized, especially our youth age was why I took interest to find out exactly what football commentary is. They call themselves Taylor, those who support the government, and anybody that opposes the government, they tag them winner. And I felt none would be right, because only radio football commentary, whether you like the team or you don't like the team, if the ball is in your opponent's 18-yard box, you cannot clear it otherwise. Have you ever, in your own personal commentary, gone without having tilted to one side of the team? You did not feel if Nigeria is playing against Ghana or Enugu Rangers are playing against Rangers Bees, you did not feel as a human being that you have support for this particular team, but your professional calling made you must have to speak the truth to the blind listener outside.
We are human beings, and we are bound to have our preferences and our biases. But in our training, I forgot to say it. We were trained very properly. At some point, I was attached on training with the BBC. That's our parent organization. We take after BBC and after Queen's English. That's what we do today with Americanizing this and so on. Then I got attached to VOA to feel the various experiences. I got attached to Batudela and Radio Netherlands. And Radio Netherlands was where I was, and then he said, if you can do this commentary, then you need to get attached to us. You cannot be like us, and you cannot be like it. So your pride is that you are who you are, and our pride is that we are who we are. So why do you need to come and copy me? I'm telling you, I'm just quoting him. And I said, yes, because their commentary style is different. The atmosphere is also different. So to come back specifically to the question, have I ever been biased and all that? It could be, but you don't overdo it. You must also take into cognizance the fact that you are on national radio. If it is a state radio, you may feel, okay, you are talking to immediate community of a particular team. You feel somehow biased, but professionally, the truth must be said. If a goal is scored, a goal is scored. If the goal is not scored, it's not scored. You cannot say because we support Rangers, the didn't score, they have scored. So your bias can only end where your professionalism starts. And where your professionalism starts is that you give out what is happening on the field. What is commentary? Commentary is critical artwork. Minute by minute essence of what is going on. It could be ceremonial, it could be sports, it could be traditional commentary, like the Doba, like Ofala who do in part of the Eastern region, and so on and so forth. You must know that there are certain sacred things that hold the people there. You don't go and mess it up. You don't abuse people because you are not of their kind. In radio, as a broadcaster, you are everybody's brother, everybody's friend. You cannot begin to say, because you are not Yoruba, you go there and say, Yoruba are stupid. You cannot. You must, in fact, you go there and caress their ego so that you can win them over to you. So, what I do when I'm in commentary, I don't even remember I'm in oil. I don't even take myself away. If the best way to do it, if you go on commentary and they say, Nigeria won Senegal name, you don't say, we are leading them. So, you detach yourself from Senegal, detach yourself from Nigeria. So, Nigeria is leading by one, it makes my vote to score, but it has come to not so far. So far, that is the result. Nigeria is playing well at the moment. Senegal is yet to get it back together. But I know that this player...
There is one particular aspect where you mentioned the additions Ernest OKONKWO brought in, and the illustration you were making about Nigeria weak score brought me to additions of Ernest OKONKWO, particularly if we were like Keteros, adding vocabularies. Ernest OKONKWO would have added many vocabularies in the field of radio football commentary, like ODA. I was just telling my younger ones that ODA means an own goal, and they thought, when I said it's a human being, a player, they don't know. Anytime the word ODA came in, it means a team scored itself. And there is also the additions of names he gave to players. Are these his own additions, or it has been also part of the system?
Those are his own additions, because if you know Ernest was so hilarious. Ernest was so flowery. He loved the language of trying to caress your imagination. So, the commentary again depends also on one's dealing. Some people are introverts. They just go there, do their commentary, and go home. If we judge people based on it, we may be wrong in a way. Ernest brought, as I said, glamour. Ernest democratized radio commentary. So he did it his own way without losing the essence. You understand?
Yes, sir.
The creativity he brought there is what people remember today, which is very good. So let me give you an example. Shola also brought his own creativity. They used to call him Shola is a goal for Launcher. Because, one, he said that there is a commentator's goal. When there is a goal man trouble, and the ball is being kicked left and right and right side, the expectation is that there may be a goal, there may be a foul against or the attacking team or for the attacking team. If it's for the attacking team, then it's a penalty. So something is dangerous is cooking in the penalty area. And so Shalaprojo just said, something is cooking in there. It is a goal. No, it's not a goal. It is a goal. No, it's not a goal. And they when we came on board, he called me one day and said, son, you see, you don't have the luxury that we have. And I said, well, sir. He said, the luxury we had was that at the time we started, there was no television. So it's whatever you say that they follow. But these days that there is television, people will now watch through television, mute the volume and increase that of radio to listen to the commentary on radio, watch on television. You cannot begin to say the goal is not, because the person says, this is not near goal now. The new people inside, what is this one talking? Something like that. Even in modern times, people went to the stadiums with their monitoring sets. So they are watching the match live in the stadium, inside the stadium, and they are listening to your commentary. So you cannot afford to be flippant or frivolous with words. You have to be specific. Otherwise, you will say, this commentator is not giving this match that is running this commentary on. So that was an added disadvantage, so to say, to us. But all the same, NS was good. NS democratized sports commentary, brought in creativity. He gave virtually everybody names, which all of them have accepted and are using. For instance, is using mathematics. I think he registered it as a trade name, and so on and so forth. So, NS was good. In fact, he made commentary popular.
I have never met you before, but for many of us, sometimes we mistook you to Ernest or Ernest to you, and the voice does not show age or does not register age. Did you intentionally, practically try to emulate his voice, or your voice are just closely related?
This is a very intricate question. Something happened one day, and this is live, this is real. Ernest told his family he was not going to the commentary, that he was going somewhere. And I happened to be the one that went for the commentary. So when we finished commentary, and Ernest now went home from wherever he went to, his son, said, Daddy, you told us we are not going for the commentary. And then I said, no, I didn't. And he said, Daddy, I recorded this, so you can't tell me lies. You don't children. You can't tell me lies. You went. And the boy said, I had you now. We are running commentary. These are certain things you said. I laughed. I said, no, I didn't go. I didn't think to pass by, not to talk of running commentary. This one, now brought the media and played back the commentary he recorded, which he thought it was the father's commentary. And then I said, I said, Odikpo's voice. This is not mine. And the boy now said, Daddy, how do you identify Odikpo's voice? Because we can't. This is their voice. He said, no. It's okay. The Odikpo will now settle this. Emeka, where are you? Come to my house now. We are living in Ikoyi then. We're very close by. So I went to his house. I did not play the commentary. He said, good voice. I said, by you singing commentary now. He recorded it. He said, no, he wasn't the one. But there is an argument. They say it's him. I said, no, by commentary, this is my voice now. My voice is different from that of others. I said, no. But they want to think that Ernest ran that commentary. They showed the similarity.
Really?
But let me now tell you, it was to haunt me later because some of them believe that I was trying to imitate Ernest. Because what they tell us at the beginning, commentary training is that be yourself, don't try to imitate anybody. Because if you want to imitate somebody, the witness will you. So that's not room. The candidate will say, Emeka, you sound like Ernest, you are too much Ernest to you. So I don't know, I didn't do it deliberately. It just happened that way. But you may not remove the fact that I I was influenced largely by Ernest style of commentary.
In this part of the country, I'm sorry, I'm going to use an analogy. Is this not a very good thing when somebody replicates your voice or your kind of training, like between a mentor and a mentee? I said I was going to use an analogy with the within part of this country. Islamic scholars that recite Quran. One of the outstanding reciter was a man who recited Quran for late Abu Bakr Mahmoud Guni, almost maybe 80 or above. When the man asked his trainee, not his biological son, the first day he took the microphone, people were crying because of the voice. They thought the old man was back. Is it just something of pride?
Well, it depends on how you see. So I don't know, but in commentary, you are told not to imitate anybody. You are told to be yourself. You are told to innovate for yourself. Let us know you with this and that. Like we talk about Ernest now, like we talk about Shola Project and so on and so forth. So it's not that it's bad generally. There are people who like me so much, who say, you took after Ernest. In fact, when Ernest died, you took over. I tell them, I didn't take over. I was too small when Ernest died. So I couldn't have taken over. There were so many senior persons. There was Sabato, there was Tolupato Igbo, there was Richard Asibu, and so on and so forth. You know, there was Henry Asisoyin. They were all my seniors. So I couldn't have taken over from Ernest. Somehow, many people liked it. In fact, at some point, there were some DJs that came and they would just ask after me and give me assignments. And my guys never liked it. And then some people now started, he has long leg or he looks good, that kind of thing. And then Elijah Brahman Michika, who was our DJ at the time, is late now. So then he said, look, Emeka is better than all of you. I don't know what people are saying, you know. During the US 94 World Cup, everybody wanted to go to the US. Yes. So I said, I will take Emeka, go and nominate 3 other people. But Emeka is the 4th one. You know, naturally, your guys would like that kind of thing. They would believe that I went to demand the lobby, you know. So that's where it's a part of the problem. But all the same, I never went to Organic Ticker to say, put me. I couldn't have done that to say, put me for this thing. No. I wanted to go to US to fight for that. I've been there once or twice before then. I wanted to be there. But if I was chosen, okay. If I wasn't chosen, okay. But the man said, we are taking 4 people to US. Go and nominate 3 and put Emeka as the 4th one.
The reason why I asked you this question, as I said earlier, I've never met you, but I was privileged to have served and worked simply, even though from a distance, with Richard Asibu when I was a core member in the same period we are talking about. I served in 1994 in Enugu there. And there in the FRC and Enugu station, there is a lot of talk about the other side of Ernest. This example we are given, that he didn't groom other people, he was all for himself, all the national, international, major championships, major matches, he is the only one who run the commentaries and did not give other people the chance to learn or exhibit their own. He overshadows everybody. The example you just gave, leaders, either because of the flowering language or the massaging of the ego of both the listener and the players, something unique in theirs, a commentator above the others. Sometimes the voice, sometimes the language.
Yes.
Many Nigerians will say, after Ernest, it's actually you and none other. Do you feel terrible about that?
I feel excited, but at the time they were saying it, it was also weighing badly on me. Let me give you another example. When we went to Saudi 89,
yes, sir.
I led the team to Saudi 89, and that Dama miracle was coined by me. But most Nigerians believe it was Ernest that coined Dama miracle. Even when they are paying people to lead, they say he coined Dama miracle. And I laugh, you know, because Saudi 89, Ernest had taken years, so he couldn't travel. So I was the one with a late Farouk Musa, so on and so forth. We went to Saudi Arabia. The thing is this. Some of the things they say against it, I say. And when they say it that way, it makes me proud. And it shows me that I should work harder. Let me tell you, nobody can do what Ernest did. Wow. Nobody, including with all due sense of respect and responsibility. Ernest had 2 books. He calls one the encyclopedia, and he calls one the book. What is inside the encyclopedia is all the names of all the matches they covered. Wow. The names of the players, team list of all the matches, dates, and everything. He had them there. The book, how each goal scorer did on that day, it is estimation, how he scored a goal in Scotland 89, and so on and so forth. Everything was in that book. Wow. He goes with them anywhere he's traveling, and he continues writing the book. I don't know where the book is today, because we were thinking that he will transform it into a book, publish it, but he couldn't before he died. I don't know what the family has done about the book anyway, but that's another story. So Ernest believes, if I say this, it may be pompous, but let me say it, before he satisfies Ernest, it's so difficult. Late Samuel Okolo told me that he went out with Ernest, and Ernest was hypnotizing me. You get my point? Yeah. That if Ernest was hypnotizing me, it meant that I was doing well, that I should please keep it up. I should not disappoint. These were some certain things that motivated us, especially me. But many wouldn't see it that way, because Ernest would say there was a time we were to go for one coverage in Scotland. Coca-Cola sponsored, and the Coca-Cola said we want Ernest and emeka to go.
A difficult combination.
Yes, and the hierarchy of the person didn't like it that way. Some brought ethnicity to it. How can Ernest OKONKWO hand over to emeka? That kind of thing. Then some people now said, why must the 2 of them that are doing well is relative? That Ernest may be good, but some people may not even want to hear his commentary. I don't know whether that is true or not. But these are the sentiments expressed at the time. We eventually went. When we came back, the Coca-Cola wrote a special commendation and pleaded that they should give us accelerated promotion. When the team came, they now said, well, a request of an outside organization is not binding on them. So my brother, if anybody complained that Ernest was not grooming, doing this, before you go on air, let me tell you, Ernest was so difficult. It was easy to go on air under Sebastian Forum. It was easy to go on air under Shola Forum. Ernest will keep you on the bench. Reason, he will tell you, and I'm quoting him, if you rush into commentary, you will rush out of commentary. He said, if you go on commentary and you sound bad, the listenership will say, who is this fool? Who is this idiot? He doesn't even know what it is. And even if you prove 2-3 days after, nobody will talk about it. That first impression matters. So you must have improved well before you go on commentary. Let me parable of cyclists. Ernest said, look, if you want to teach somebody how to ride a bicycle, continue with the parts of the bicycle. Today you teach him pedaling. Tomorrow you teach him brake system. And so on and so on. But about to say, no, that is waste of energy and time. Put the person on the bicycle and push him and say, you are your own. If you fall, you injure yourself. So disturb you so that you don't fall. That's the best way. But whichever way it is, you will achieve the result at the end. For 3 years I was under Ernest, under studying. Even when I had done my basic commentator's course, he said I would go for intermediate. I went for intermediate, he said I would go for advanced. I went for advanced, he was still not ready to put me on.
Listeners, this is where we got to put a stop to the first part of this interview. Join me to thank the Ace Radio Football commentator, Mr. Emeka Odikpo, for availing us his time despite his tight schedules. Sir, on behalf of staffers of Noble News and the interviewer, U.S. Machika, I am Farouk Nanupelu, thanking you most sincerely and hope to continue with the second part of this special interview. Thank you for listening.